How are you, learner? This is Teacher Willie, Form 1 West Mathematics teacher. Now today, I'm going to take you through chapter 13, and the topic is area. I know you have already covered this one in your physics class, and maybe some few concepts in your primary school level. Now I start with the objectives of this lesson. That number one, we are going to state units of area. Here we're going to define what is area, and we will state units that we use when we are talking about area. Number two, that we are going to convert units of area from one to another. We are going to convert, for example, square meter to square kilometer, or even to hectares. Point number three is that we are going to derive and to calculate area of a regular plane figure. Now to derive is just to come up with a formula. Now we're going to look at a rectangle, square, triangle, parallelogram, rhombus, trapezium, and circle. And then we'll calculate the surface area of cubes, cuboids, and cylinder. Now let's start with number one, units of area. And we're going to define area. Area, this is the amount of surface enclosed within its boundary. Point number two, you say that it's measured in square units. Now here we are going to use terms like square meter, square kilometer, square millimeter. So that's what we mean by square units. Now the standard unit of area is square meters, written as m power 2. Now standard units is basically the SI units. The SI unit of area is square meter. Now other units of area, we have, now these just a few. We have, for example, square centimeter, square kilometer. Now we have others that we use. We have what we call R and hectares. Now these two we are going to look them later on this chapter. Now we're going to conversion of unit of area from unit of length. Now remember in your previous chapter 12, under length, you looked at units of length and the equivalent. For example, I hope you came up with the table like this one, where we have kilometer, equivalent in meter and in centimeter, millimeter, equivalent in meters and in centimeter. Now here we are going to convert this unit of length to area. Now we are going to have square kilometer, convert it to square meter. We also convert it to square centimeter. Also going to have a square meter, we convert it to square centimeter. Now I'm going to do two examples. I'll show you how you can convert square kilometer to square meter. And example number two, I'll show you how we are going to convert square millimeter to square centimeter. And then I'll leave the others. I'll leave others for you to fill, and then you'll send your answers to your class teacher. Now, example number one, we're going to convert 1 square kilometer to square meter. Now, from this table, you can clearly see that 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1,000 meters. 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1,000 meters. Now, 1 square kilometer, that one is equals to 1 kilometer multiplied by 1 kilometer. It is like you have a square measuring 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. If you find its area, you will find that it is 1 square kilometer. Now 1 square kilometer is equivalent to 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. but you know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meter. Therefore, it will be 1,000 meter. You multiply by 1,000 meter. Now, if you multiply, you'll get it is 1 million square meter. Or in standard form, we write it as 1.0 times 10 power 6 square meter. I hope you know how to write figures in standard form. Now, writing figures in standard form is that it will help you not to write too many zeros, because there's a possibility of omitting 1 0 or adding a 0 in your figures, and that it will create an error. Therefore, you have to know how to write figures in standard form. Actually, it is simpler than writing all these zeros. Now we know that 1 square kilometer is equivalent to 1 million square meter. Example number 2, I want to convert square millimeter to square centimeter. Now, from this table, you can clearly see that 1 millimeter is equivalent to 0.1 centimeter. Now, 1 square millimeter is equivalent to 1 millimeter multiplied by 1 millimeter. You have a square measuring 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter. If you find its area, it will be 1 square millimeter. But we know that 1 millimeter is equivalent to 0.1 centimeter. Therefore, you have 0.1 centimeter multiplied by 0.1. If you multiply, you find that 1 square millimeter is equivalent to 0.01 square centimeter. Or, in standard form, it is 10 power negative 2 square centimeter. Now, this is the exercise I want you to do. I've converted square kilometer to square millimeter, and I've also converted square millimeter to square centimeter. Now, I want you to fill the spaces. I want you to fill the remaining parts, and then you send your answer to your class teacher or your class group. Now, I told you that other units of area that we use, we have R and hectare. Now, R, this is an area of a square field of side 10 meter or 1 decameter. Now, these two units, R and hectare, we mostly use it when we are talking about, for example, a piece of land. We mostly use R and hectares. We talk about R's and hectares. Now, R, it is a square field measuring 10 meter by 10 meter or 1 decameter by 1 decameter. Now, 1 R is equivalent to 10 meter times 10 meter, which is equivalent to 100 square meter. Hectare, this is an area of a square field of side 100 meter or 1 hectometer. Now, if you have a piece of land measuring 100 meter by 100 meter, then you say that you have 1 hectare. That is, 1 hectare is 100 meter multiplied by 100 meter. It is 10,000 square meter. Therefore, 1 hectare is equivalent to 10,000 square meter. Now, let's go to example. Convert the following into units given in the bracket. Example number 1, we have 385,000 square meter. We want to convert it to square centimeter. Now, we know that 1 square meter is equivalent to 100 centimeter multiplied by 100 centimeter, which is equivalent to 10,000 square centimeter. Now, we want to see how many square centimeter are there in 385,000 square meter. Now, this one you just cross multiply. you find that it will be 395,000. You multiply by 10 to the power of 4, or 10,000. Then find that your answer as 3.85 times 10 power 9 square centimeter. Hope up to there we are together. Now, example number 2. We want to convert 4.675 hectare to square centimeter. Now, we know that 1 hectare is equivalent to 100 meter multiplied by 100 meter. But from this question, we want to convert hectare to square centimeter. Therefore, from 100 meter, you can convert 100 meter to centimeter. We know that 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeter. Therefore, this one will be equal to 100 multiplied by 100, that is centimeter, then multiplied by 100 times 100, so that we're able to convert this 100 meter to centimeter, and also this other 100 meter to centimeter. Therefore, we'll find, if you multiply this, you'll find that 1 hectare is equivalent to 100 million square centimeter. Now, I told you to avoid writing all these zeros, just write this value in its standard form. That will be 10 to the power of 8 square centimeter. I want to convert 4.675 hectare. That will be equal to, just multiply. You multiply 4.675 times 10 power 8 square centimeter. Hope up to there we're together. Now let's do the last example. Example number 3. We want to convert 5,857,000 square centimeter to hectare. Now, from our previous example, we have seen that 1 hectare is equivalent to 100 million square centimeter. Therefore, here we have 1 hectare is equivalent to 10 to the power of 8 square centimeter. Now, what about 5,857,000 square centimeter? Just cross multiply. You'll find that it will be 5,857,000 divided by 100 million. Find that your answer is 0.05857 hectare. Now, there's something I want you to note from example number 1, example number 2, and example number 3. Now, let's look at example number 1 and example number 2. You see, in example number 1 and example number 2, we are converting from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. Now, let's consider example number 1. We are converting from a square meter to a square centimeter. Now, square meter is bigger compared to square centimeter because 1 square meter is equivalent to 10,000 square centimeter. Now, when you are converting from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, you just multiply. As you can see from example number 1 and example number 2. For example number 2, we were converting hectare to square centimeter. Hectare is bigger than square centimeter. Therefore, we just multiply. Now, in example number 3, you see we are converting from square centimeter to hectare. Now, square centimeter is smaller compared to hectare. Therefore, when you are converting from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, you divide. Hope you have seen that. Yes. Now, we have an exercise. Convert each of the following into units given in bracket. Number 1, you have 300 square centimeter. You convert it to square meter. Number 2, you have 0.45 hectare. You convert it to square meter. Number C, you have 6.8 hectare, you convert it to R. Number D, we have 5 million square meter, you convert it to square kilometer. Your answer, you sent it to your class teacher or to your class group. Now, in our next lesson, we are going to look at the area of a regular plane figures. Thank you for participating. Have a lovely day.